About 2 weeks ago during the spiritual reading, I can't remember, but the reading was something from St. John Vianney. And he mentioned that after a spiritual pilgrimage, he had to beg, and he said something like, I learned at that moment to never put myself in a position to have to beg. So I was hoping you could elaborate on how Madonna House kind of deals with begging and how you guys understand it.
Good, yeah. John Vianney's situation was a particular situation of himself that he wasn't really called to be a beggar. And but that raised the same question for me when I read that. Well, that's very different from our perspective on begging. So.
Begging is one of the particular charisms of Madonna House. Many religious communities live a vow of poverty or a spirit of poverty. Why? Because our Lord invited us to do that. I think it might have been in one of the gospel readings at Mass this week. If a disciple goes out, he shouldn't have a lot of extra baggage. One tunic, one pair of sandals, ask for hospitality as you go, right? So that's really what Christ wanted us to do if we're his disciples. But the forms in which it's done are different from community to community in a church. Normally speaking, ordinary lay people with families do not live by begging. It would have to be a very special inspiration from God that would have to be discerned, I would think, and blessed. And blessed by anyone who begs has a responsibility to live in a certain way. You know what I mean? So, in the church structure. So, your group has to be blessed by whoever is your authority. In our case, the Bishop of Pembroke. He blesses our begging, our asking people for help, because he blesses our work. All right, that's in the structure of the church. But why do this? Besides the fact that Christ told us, it's a way of living in dependence on God, especially God the Father, to care for us. And unless we have these underpinnings of and know why in the Spirit we're doing it, begging can get crazy. And begging can be foolish. And begging can be unwise. But if I'm living always in dependence on the Father, I won't go too far off. So that's the start. What else about begging?
Well, it's definitely what you'd call now countercultural. If we live in a basically bourgeois society where money will allow you to buy whatever you feel like you want if you have enough of it, and you can kind of control your life that way, although that's an illusion, it's still a one that seems to work a good bit of the time. The counter to that is begging, where you are not then able to call forth the kind of resources that will necessarily allow you to control your life. I mean, in an illusionary way, control it, but